Hey guys, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. It's Beer 30. Let's go take a walk, see what's in the fridge today. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews. Merry Christmas to everybody. I apologize for not having my red Santa Claus hat on, but I did not dig it out this year. I left it packed away. The beer I have here is Hair of the Dog Brewing, and they're out of Portland, Oregon, and I'm pretty sure that Matt sent me this one. I cannot get their beers here, and this particular one is Fred. It is a golden special ale, bottle conditioned, and the alcohol content is 10% on this beer. So getting some of these bigger beers out of the fridge, and I've had this one for a while. He sent this back to me back in the summertime, so I'm pretty sure this is last year's edition of this particular beer. So let's see, the commercial description is basically the same thing that's written on the back of the bottle here. It says, Fred was created to honor beer writer and historian Fred Eckhart. Fred, the beer, is a deep golden color. It is made with aromatic and rye malts and includes 10 different hop varieties in an effort to incorporate the whole world into this beer. Well, very nice. I have the IBUs too, I think. Let's see what the IBUs there are on this one. I think the IBUs are listed here in Beer Advocate. IBUs are 65 on this one, guys. So getting on up there into the bitterness range, almost to the IPA status, or the double IPA even. And it takes a lot of hops to balance out a 10% strong beer like this. A lot of malt is used, so that a lot of hops got to be used in the bittering process to balance it out, so it's just not a sweet syrupy taste, guys. So the food pairings for this particular beer, the cheeses are your nutty, Asiago, Colby, Parmesan, and there are no food pairings, but these stronger beers goes with your stronger dishes or even after dinner as an aperitif. The glassware is a pint, becker, the nonic, the tumbler, the snifter, the mug, the stein, the sidel. I've got the double glass again for this one, just like yesterday's beer. That's what I like using on these bigger beers because the shape of the glass enhances the aromas. And this beer can be cellared at 10% for a long, long time. I would say, I wouldn't hesitate to say this beer could be cellared for 10 years or more if it's cellared correctly. So, with that being said, let's get the cap off of this. Ooh, a lot of hits on that one. Bottle condition, so I mean still fermenting in the bottle, and it's been in the fridge ever since I've got it, so it's been in the fridge for at least 6-8 months, so whenever he sent it to me. Thanks again, Matt, for sending these over to me. Let's pour this one. I probably shouldn't pour it down the center, because this is liable, since it's bottle condition, this is liable to produce a monster head. Just as I said, you can see what's happening here. Alright. 3 fingers of head with that very easy pour. And I could tell that a lot what was going to happen by the hiss when I pulled the cap off of it. On the bottle conditioned beers, they still ferment in the bottle as long as they're not in a very cold environment. Just sitting in a warehouse or on a shelf somewhere, they're still working. It's still fermenting in the bottle. Now, once you chill it down, you know, like being in a refrigerator or something, it's gonna slow that way down. And this has been in the refrigerator for a while, so it's not been working as active as it would have been if it had been sitting on a 7-degree shelf somewhere. So over into the light. It is semi-cloudy, and I didn't pour every bit of it in. It's a bottle-conditioned ale, so I didn't want all that gunk from the very bottom of the bottle into the beer. Sometimes depending on the beer style, I'll pour that in there, and sometimes I don't. I did not want, it had a thick layer on the bottom. I wanted to leave it there. It's not a Hefeweizen or a wheat beer, so I wanted to leave that there. A lot of people chuck it in there and like that too. The other half likes that. I do not. So over into the light, like I said, it's got a very cloudy chill haze on it. I can see the bulb through the center because I didn't pour the remnants of what's in the bottle into the glass. Very orangey in color. Looks very much like an IPA in the light. A lot of bubbles, a lot of fine bubbles streaming up from the bottom of the glass. As you can see, it poured a very thick 3-finger head on that very easy pour. So bottle conditioned beers will do that. I mean, like I said, they're still fermenting in the bottle. A lot of pressure when I took that cap off. You probably heard it hiss. That means a lot of times when it does that, sometimes it'll even come up out of the bottle. It'll come alive on you, and you gotta be careful. Or I've even had them spray across the room before. So you just gotta be aware of the bottle conditioned beers. They can do that. So looks very good in the glass. Let's get a nose on it. See what we got. Yes, a lot of sweet caramel and toffee, big malt backbone on this beer. There is a little bit of alcohol, but it's not overpowering in the nose. Smells balanced on the nose. I'm getting a little bit of oranges in there too. A little bit of lighter fruit, oranges, pears, apples, if you will. But it does have a big malty smell to me. And a lot of these bigger beers will. Your strong ales and your barley wines and stuff will have that big maltiness because of the ABV and the amount of malt that's used to produce it. Wow, smells very good in the glass. Let's give it a taste. Cheers, everybody. Wow, that is tasty. Now this one to me is a little more balanced than the one we did yesterday, the Shell's beer that we did yesterday. This one tastes like it's a little bit, I'm gonna say, well, a little bit better made, and it's not a downgrade to the guys that we did yesterday. It's just the way the brewers do their things and the different hops and the malts they use and how they brew their beer. But this one seems a little more balanced to me. I am getting that lighter fruit, caramel, toffee. I'm getting the alcohol, not overpowering, not burning or anything, but it's a big beer. Remember, it's 10%. Very big beer. Definitely a sipper. Look at the lacing that's leaving on the glass. Very impressive. I have another Hair of the Dog beer in there. I may pull out for tomorrow. I don't know which one it is. I think this is Fred. I think it's Adam that's in there. And they like naming some of their beers after certain people. It's like this one was named after that Fred guy. And very, very, very tasty. I cannot get their beers here. So Matt, thanks for sending this one. I'm pretty sure you did send this one. Very tasty. Very big though, just remember that. I'm not a big fan of the super huge beers. Once they get to the 10% and above beers, you do get that alcohol. And sometimes it'll subdue a little bit if you age them or cellar them for an extended period. But still, a lot of them are still kind of boozy after a year or 2 or 3 even, because of the amount of malt that's used to produce these bigger ABV beers. So, still kind of pleasant, but it's 40 degrees right out of the fridge. You know the deal and the drill. We're going to let it warm up, and I'm going to share some of this with her and come back and do the final chug as I always do and some final comments. But right now, it's looking like an A beer. So let's let it warm up and see how it changes, and I'll be right back, and we'll do that final chug thing. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little bit left here. It's about to knock some lacing all the way down the glass here. Very tasty beer. I'm I'm getting a lot of light fruit, apricots, pears, apples, maybe just a little bit of tangerine, a nice malt backbone to this one. Very well balanced. The alcohol has subsided now that it's warmed up a little bit. The other half liked it just as much as I did. Definitely think it's a lot better than the one we did yesterday. I don't say a lot better, but definitely a more balanced, better made beer in my opinion. Just my opinion now. Than the one we did yesterday from Shells. This is very tasty, guys. I could drink this all the time if I could get this beer in my area. Let's do the final chug. Oh wow. Very tasty. I'm looking forward to doing the other hair of the dog beer that I've got in there. I hope it's just as good as this one, guys. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. It is definitely a tasty beer, a tasty, strong ale. To me, it's almost into the barley wine status with that ABV and the taste and flavors that I'm getting off this beer. So, very tasty. If you can get this beer and you like this style of beer and the bigger beers, you ought to be able to pick this up and give it a try if you can get it. So, very tasty. I enjoyed this one thoroughly. Not quite to the 10, but it's definitely kicking on the door of the 10. So I'm going to give it the 9 today, and let's see what the other guys got to say about this one. We'll go over to Beer Advocate first, and they say 92, which is in their outstanding range. Don't quite agree with the 92, but I do agree with the outstanding range. It is a very well-made beer, a very tasty beer. And this one was selling for a long time, too, so it may get better if it sits in the fridge for 5 years. Just remember, it's a bottle-conditioned beer, so you wouldn't want it to sit on a shelf for 5 years, because it's going to keep working in the bottle and keep doing this fermentation thing, and it's liable to blow the cap off of it. So, very tasty. Very tasty. I enjoyed it thoroughly. And we'll go over to Rate Beer, and Rate Beer, wow. Rate Beer says 100 overall. I am so close to giving it the 10, but I'm going to give it to 9 because it doesn't have a date on it, and I really would like to have that information. Not necessarily the month or the day, but the year, and it may be on their website. I did not go to that, but you shouldn't have to. It should say 2011 edition or 2013 edition or whatever on the label here, in my opinion. And that's the way I feel about these beers. You know, when they get to these bigger ABV beers like this, the month and the day is not as critical as it is on an IPA. But I still would like to have that year printed on there. And the IBUs would be nice to have that information on the label too. So you kind of know, you know, when you look at it, how bitter the beer is going to be. So that's just the way I feel. That's just my 2 cents, as the lion on the Food Lion commercial says. Just my 2 cents. So, and they have 99 in the style, and I agree with that. That's about where I'm giving. I'm giving it to 98 or the 99 as far as a numeric rating on this beer. So very tasty. Definitely worth picking up if you can get your hands on it. So with that being said, guys, that's all I'm going to say about this one. I liked it. The other half liked it. So let me know if you liked it or not. Give me some comments back on this one if you've had it. As always, like I say, hit the like button, rate, comment, subscribe, and let's take that walk and see what's in the fridge tomorrow. See you then. Merry Christmas.